Hello, Kansas City business owners, and welcome to show number 5 of the 10 Questions Show. Today, I'm pleased to introduce uh, Steve Burbridge with Anthony Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Steve, why don't you take a moment and tell us about yourself and what you do?
Well, I own Anthony Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. I do have four partners, co-workers that are with the company, and we provide comfort, health, safety, and energy savings to homeowners and to commercial buildings, commercial building owners.
Awesome. Again, thanks for being here, and let's start in on the questions. The first one, I know you bought your business, but why did you start and buy that business?
Well, I actually had a previous company that I had taken public. That was called Neil Harris. It's now been changed to the name Service Experts, and I was there for 23 years. Um, and after being a public company, left there in December of '05. I set out 2006, kind of explored other businesses to see if there was something else I wanted to go into. But I really, knew plumbing, heating, and cooling well, and chose to go back into the business. So I purchased Anthony Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in February of 2007.
And I know your
After sitting
dad,
out a year.
yeah, and I know your dad
Beg your
was a,
pardon?
I know your dad was a plumber as well, correct?
Well, he was involved with our old company. He actually wasn't a plumber. He owned a company called Waldo Plumbing, and he was an accountant that owned that company. And then he purchased a company called Neil Harris. I went to work there and then purchased it from my dad in 1993. Then I helped form a public company called Service Experts in 1996. In the year 2000, we were bought by Lennox. And then in 2005, I left there and set out again in 2006 and purchased Anthony in February 2007. So there's the full timeline.
Awesome. Well, if you had to do it all over again, is there anything that you would change?
Most of it we've done pretty well. One thing that looking back, a few things I guess that would have been different. I did not want to start a company. I wanted the phone to be ringing the next day. I didn't want my name on the company. It's not about me. And I like buying an established company. I've certainly purchased many other plumbing, heating, and cooling companies. Um, the former owner, who was the founder's son, stayed on for 2 years, and really part of the buyout was just 1 year staying on. I probably, looking back, would have terminated him after 1 year. Just having the former owner with us moving forward with a lot of new initiatives and modernizing the business, he was probably a hindrance to the speed that we were moving forward. We were kind of just staying in the old style of operating. Um, we did move locations after 2 years, and that accelerated up, our growth, and we could set up a facility like we wanted it set up. But that would probably be one. Maybe early on we didn't have the quality of the people that we have right now, so we probably had some mishires. We weren't in the hiring game like we used to be, it seemed like. And the other thing, starting it or purchasing a business and growing it, and this was a very small company when we purchased it. There, documenting all the processes and procedures. That was we are well documented now. We're just tweaking everything, whereas early on we didn't have any of those procedures. I think looking back, I would have stopped a little bit and initiated those procedures instead of just charging ahead and trying to get sales and get growth. Should have had maybe some procedures in place early on that we have in place now, but took too long to get in place. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so working on your business, not just in it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
Um,
hard, as you know, working in the business and on the business. You maintain the business between 8 and 5, and you grow the business between 5 and 8. And I was involved with a lot with sales and with customers. And looking back, I probably was maybe too involved working in the business. I should have been working more on the business.
I call that the tyranny of the urgent.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what motivates you to continue?
Well, I'm an internally motivated guy. I don't drink coffee. I don't need anything really to charge me up or anything. So I enjoy business. I enjoy growing a company and developing other people. We have some great people here that I'm hoping to groom to eventually take over the business. And so that just seeing the company grow. We have 95 coworkers now, and I mentioned we purchased a company in '07. We had 4, so it's been a pretty fast growth, steady growth, certainly every year. And I enjoy that. I enjoy where I can't wait to get I have a daily report, but to get our monthly numbers to see how much more we were like. I just got August numbers, and we're 22% over last year, and we have 8 departments that we track pretty closely, and how each one does. It's exciting to see the growth. I think one of my philosophies is you can only coast one way, so you got to be growing and pedaling hard and pushing and seeing people. We promote from within, and to see people that we have several of our managers that came up from being technicians out in the field, and now they've got different kind of responsibility, different skills and knowledge requirements, and just watching people develop, I get it. It excites me.
Yeah, I like how you call them coworkers and not employees. I think that's a really great differential between your company and others. So, what does your ideal client look like?
Our ideal client is a homeowner or business building owner typically, and we don't do any new construction, so it's existing homeowners that want a technician they can trust with their house keys in their home. They don't really even have to be home, of course, because of that. Customers do give us their alarm codes and our keys or whatever to their facility, and we maintain the facility for them on their plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. So every home has plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, and certainly should have their systems tuned up once a year. And it's true with business owners also. On the commercial side, we don't do really large buildings. It's more small buildings. Owner-occupied is better. But we service the whole metro Kansas City area, and any homeowner we love homeowners. We love small commercial building owners.
Perfect. I think I already know what your answer is going to be on this next one, but what is the culture of your business?
Well, and our org chart is an upside down org chart, and certainly we have different ones, but we have the audience, we have front stage performers, and we have backstage performers. And the audience is our boss, it's just the customers. And on my desk, which of course I'm sitting at, but you can see this. This kind of sets the culture for the company, and it says, you have my undivided attention until a customer calls. And the customers are our bosses. We get great feedback from them. We have 8 business reply cards from our recent service calls and installations. There, people will fill them out, and I can't wait for the mail to come, because I just like seeing customer comments about how we did. Occasionally there's one that's less than positive, that we had an issue, and so we can recover that customer. They cared enough to let us know that we did not live up to their full expectations, and so we're going to make it right with them. And but 99.9% are really positive, and it's just kind of an ego boost to let you know that all the training and the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into providing service every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, is paying off. And there's just fantastic comments from customers, and it's all about the customers. It's not about Steve, or it's not really the people here. We just value our customers greatly.
I think you've kind of answered number 7 with that, and that's what's your role and what is the customer's role in that, and obviously the customer's the boss. What would you say your role is?
They have the money, and well, my title on my business card is customer relations, and that's kind of what I do. But my role is to set the philosophy and the tone and the culture for the company. I spend 4 hours with every new coworker and do an orientation with them about the company history, the philosophy, the culture. I tell a lot of stories during that 4 hours. 33 years of experience being in the business. I have a lot of stories, and I do that to, so hopefully they'll remember it. They do, of course I make them take notes, and I test them over the orientation as well. just to start them out on the right foot. That this is, there's a lot of expectations to work here. So I set that. I meet with the key supervisors and leaders here regularly, weekly certainly, and kind of guide people. I enjoy going out in the field and being out looking at projects. I just don't get out as much as I wish I should and could and budget that time in. But I really I enjoy that part. I just my roles change certainly as we get bigger and bigger. Where now I'm spending more time in the office and a lot less time out in the field. But I certainly enjoy the field time. For one reason, that's where the customers are.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of in the same boat as you. Our company is growing, and it's hard to get out of this office. I know I've had to cancel some things lately that I love doing, but I can't do them, unfortunately. So this next question is one that really excites me when I talk to businesses, and that's looking 5 to 10 years down the line. What would you like to be doing differently in your business?
Well, as far as differently, I think we will. We're initiating a lot of new as we grow and as technology changes. We're initiating a lot of things right now. We've made huge investments in the company, and we'll just be expanding on our different processes now in a much faster way. This fall we are going to 7 days a week of office staff and 7 days a week of regular planned service tune-ups, meaning Saturday and Sunday are regular work days. That will even out the work week more for us. We're right now Monday's a big surge of service calls because people think over the weekend that they need to wait. Well, we're going to be a 7-day-a-week operation here very quickly, October 1st. So that'll be, we're going to expand on that, and we're starting out Saturday and Sunday with office staff and with technicians, but not near the level we have during the week. Well, 5 to 10 years from now, we'll probably have Saturday and Sunday as about the same number of people we have as during the week. Those will be just regular work days with no dip down in volume. The electrical, or I should say electronic connection with our technicians in the field and inventory control and processing of tickets and all those kind of things we are continually tweaking. Our technicians now are just getting the new tablets so they can play videos in front of the customer and interact with, or if there's a repair part or why does something fail, they can play the video, and I think it'll help in educating the customers. I envision 5 to 10 years from now we'll have a video for every facet of our business. So in the field, the customer can see the people that are back here in the office. They can see sheet metal being fabricated. They can see, again, any kind of repair, why it failed, how does that prevented, what costs go into performing that repair. We'll be, way more digitized and electronic, so to speak, 5 to 10 years from now. Might have multiple locations. We could possibly have another location or two outside of Kansas City. Hopefully I'll have a lot more coworkers, which are owners in the company. I don't know if we'll get to a full ESOP, but we'll have our own non-IRS sanctioned ESOP in some form where my stock will be being purchased by other coworkers here to get to close to being an employee-owned company.
And that's really cool. What obstacles do you see preventing you from this path?
Well, we move at such a fast pace, and we have a huge sense of urgency all the time. Is there enough time in the day to get done all the things that we want to get done? And we don't bring in a consultant in to tell us what to do, because we just know from our connection with other contractors around the country and with basically our friends in the business. There's obstacles, of course, time and money. Probably everybody says those two, and the speed of wanting to get things done now. But you have to have some foundational things in place before you can build on those. And like I said, we're growing up our supervisors inside the operation. Marketing is getting tougher all the time because it's so fragmented now, and connecting with homeowners is tough. The other side of it is getting technicians that can pass all of our background checking and will perform at the level of really good customer communications. So we have already started our own training center here for getting good people with all the great backgrounds and drug-free, criminal-free, and good driving records and good appearances, and teaching them the mechanical skills and customer skills. So we'll have our own training center, and we have initiated it this year. 5 to 10 years from now, it will be a full-blown school, and we might even start training some technicians for other companies as well.
Yeah, and I think you probably hire better than any other company that I know of in Kansas City. So if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Well, I enjoy working. I would be working in some fashion. I think I enjoy being outdoors, and I would probably be. If I wasn't doing this, I would probably be managing some real estate portfolios, maybe some ranches and farms, which I have some ownership in now, but I would be doing that probably on a bigger scale, just because I enjoy being outdoors and seeing the different parts of the country, and that's kind of a hobby, passion of mine. But it would be, if I wasn't doing the plumbing, heating, and cooling, which again is my #1 passion, I would be probably more in the real estate side of it, and maybe not working quite as many hours as I work now.
Yeah, I hear that. I could do with a few less hours too. Well, listen, thanks for coming on today. And final question, just to kind of finish us out. What is your favorite Kansas City barbecue place?
Kansas City has a lot of good barbecues. I went to a meeting last night. One of the speakers said, "I'm sorry, I'm just confused because we got people from Kansas in this room, we got people from Missouri in this room, and then you guys serve me Oklahoma Joe's barbecue. So tell me what's But I mean, I definitely like Oklahoma Joe's. I'm kind of as far as the top. It's got to be. I'm an old Smokestack guy, which is now Jack Stack, and the Fiorella family. I grew up eating that, and the beans were always the best beans with the meat pieces in there, and I try everything on that menu. The salmon is really good. They smoke the salmon in with the same meat, I think, the brisket and stuff. So people don't even think of Jack Stack for smoked salmon, but it is. I mean, that smoked salmon sandwich there is just excellent. So it's hard to beat Jack Stack, and I guess Case Dorman is the owner now, but it is everything on that menu is good. There's not just you can't just say, oh, it's just the ribs or it's just the beans. I've never had a bad meal there, and I eat at all the barbecue places. I love them all, but the one I like the most, and one I usually take out of town people to, as long as we can get in, is usually Jack Stack.
Yeah, I've got to say, as far as burn-ins go, I don't think anybody has better burn-ins than Jack Stack, and they're amazing.
So you're a burn-in
guys,
and they're good there.
They are.
All their stuff's good. I mean, see, you wouldn't think, but salmon, and I'm trying to eat healthy, and I like fish, but their salmon is darn good.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Steve, again, thank you very much for coming on today. Guys, if you have any questions for Steve, I'm going to put a lot of his contact information in the bottom of this video. Feel free to reach out to him and his co-workers there at Anthony Plumbing and Heating and Cooling. And like I said, they hire better than anybody else in the industry, and they really are the people that you can trust with your house keys. So thanks again, Steve.
Thank you, Josh.